chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says there is urgent need for a different approach to the deployment of security forces during the 2019 general elections. Yakubu stated this on Wednesday in Abuja during a meeting of the Commission's Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. Correspondent Jeremiah Umahi has more.
Security has been a major part of the challenges of election history in Nigeria. Security challenges like thuggery, hooliganism, ballot box snatching, vote buying, vandalism and other forms of electoral violence and their attendant loss of lives and properties are the most common in this part of the world. After the 2011 presidential election, hundreds of lives were lost and thousands displaced due to violence. While the 2015 elections recorded remarkable improvements compared to 2011, incidences of skirmishes dogged the process, leading to loss of lives and wanton destruction of property worth billions of naira in some parts of the country. Oftentimes, the violence is traced to either the failure of the security agencies to act or perceived bias on their parts. To avoid this scenario during the 2019 general elections, INEC's Wednesday's meeting with their Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security became necessary. Speaking at the meeting, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu called for a different approach to the deployment of security forces during elections, but was quick to admit that the police remain the lead agent for election security, while others will assist.
Learning from the experience of some of the 195 off-season elections conducted since 2015, it is pertinent to draw our attention to the need for a different approach to the deployment of security agencies during elections. The Nigerian Police Force remains the lead agency for election security. Other security agencies will play a supportive role to the Nigeria Police. However, we need a new security architecture for 2019, consistent with the provision of Section 29, Subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, which provides as follows, and I quote, "Notwithstanding the provisions of any other law, and for purposes of securing the vote, the Commission shall be responsible for requesting for the deployment of relevant security personnel necessary for elections or registration of voters, and shall assign them in a manner to be determined by the Commission in consultation with the relevant security agencies, provided that the Commission shall only request for the deployment of Nigerian armed forces for the purpose of securing the distribution and delivery of election materials and protection of election officials," unquote.
Responding on behalf of the nation's security agencies, a representative of the National Security Advisor pledged their preparedness to support INEC by providing the requisite leadership and coordination for the security agencies.
He said I should assure the committee of the preparedness of the Office of the National Security Advisor to support the INEC by providing the requisite leadership and coordination for the security agencies in ensuring a credible electoral process. And it's actually in furtherance to this that he organized recently the election security management workshop for security agencies, just to prepare them towards their functions during the electoral process.
The meeting was convened by INEC primarily to update members of the Interagency Committee on Election Security on its preparation for the general elections, and also to get input from the security agencies. The various military and paramilitary organizations in the country were in attendance. Jeremiah Umahi, reporting for Clearview Television.